We have an interesting edition of the Heat Report by Chat Sports. I'm Nick Roloff. Kai Jones, a player that the Miami Heat were interested in, brought in for a workout. He may be off the table for Miami. Plus, there is a report and rumor flying around Twitter that the Heat are still going after Kevin Durant. I want to put an end to that and talk about KD. We'll start with Kai Jones because a report came in from Dantas Urbanas. Hopefully I said that right. Former first-round pick in the NBA, Kai Jones is nearing a partially guaranteed deal with a team overseas. I will not try to pronounce that name. Either way, though, it looks like he is leaving the NBA. This is a player that the Heat thought about signing. We'll talk about Kai Jones here in a second, but YouTube just put in this new feature called Hype. You see it right there underneath the video. You see you could hype this video. We want to try to grow this channel, and when YouTube puts out a new feature, well, they're going to boost that if that feature gets used. So help out the channel, hype this video, spread the word to more Heat fans, and get this channel rising up that leaderboard. I want to show YouTube that the Heat Report's got it like that. All right, when we get back to Kai Jones now, he may be off the table because he's signing with a team overseas, but most of the time when an NBA player signs with a team overseas, they have a opt-out in their contract, if you will, or a clause that if a team from the NBA expresses interest and wants to sign them, they don't have to be bought out or anything like that. They can just flat out leave and go back to the NBA. I think Trey Lyles, who just went to Real Madrid, has the same exact thing in his contract. So if the Heat wanted to sign Kai Jones or wanted to sign Trey Lyles, they would likely just be able to do that with any repercussions. Now, this could be an intriguing option for Miami, and maybe Kai Jones just was sick and tired of waiting around, wanting to have a contract in writing. Kai was a very productive player at the end of last season for the Dallas Mavericks. In the 12 games he played, he averaged 11.5 points and 6.5 boards on incredible efficiency. And we know the Heat showed interest in Kai Jones. They brought him into Miami for a 3-day workout in mid-August. But I'll say this. If they actually showcase legit interest and they told Kai Jones, like, hey, Kai, we want to sign you. We just have to create some roster space and financial space, so hang tight. We'll come back to you. Well, I don't think he would have signed with a team overseas if Pat Riley and the Miami Heat expressed that to Kai Jones. So it tells me there might not really be that much interest to bring him into Miami to begin with. I think if you are going to see the Heat ultimately add a big man to the roster, it's without a question Precious Achiuwa. We've talked about this over this past week in depth, but there really, to me, isn't a question on if the Heat add a big, it's going to be Achiuwa. Why do I say this? Well, Barry Jackson, after the initial report from Ira Winderman on Monday, which was that the Heat have been in ongoing discussions with Achiuwa, Barry added to it saying the Heat has not made an offer to Precious to this point, but indicated an interest if they are in the position to sign him, given enough space underneath the luxury tax and having a roster spot, with Achiuwa, who has a place in South Florida already, welcoming a potential Heat return. So to me, it is very clear that if the Heat waive a Terry Rozier or create roster space, they are going to add Achiuwa to this roster. All right, I want to do a check-in here. Earlier in the video, we asked to hype the video. Well, I can see who hypes the video. And I want to know who did in the comments. Did you hype this video? Type me. I'll give you a shout-out, like the comment as well. Show some love. Come on, help us out. I would like bringing back Precious Achiuwa to this Heat roster, if I'm going to be honest. I've been very open about that. I know some people on Heat Media and Heat Twitter have not been I'll say, enthusiastic about signing Precious Achiuwa. But I would like to bring him back, the former 20th pick from Miami. I would like to give him a second chance for this Heat basketball team. And Achiuwa is a productive player in the NBA. Do I think he's a starter? No. Do I think he's a primary backup? No. But as a third center in rotation? Yeah, absolutely. I think that could be a role for Achiuwa. He plays hard on a weekly and nightly basis. He's an extremely good offensive rebounder, and he knows how to play in this Heat system, what is asked of him by Eric Spoelstra, by Pat Riley. To me, he is without a question the best free agent big man still available. And since he has familiarity with the Miami Heat, it is a no-brainer. Now, I mentioned it just a bit ago. You would need to waive Terry Rozier first because you don't have enough space to sign a player before crossing the luxury tax. Waiving Terry right now saves you enough money to have enough cash to give to Achiuwa to make sure you are not passing the luxury tax, and you would have that open roster spot. All right, coming up, are the Heat still targeting Kevin Durant? Yes, we're bringing back KD talk, but before we get back into that, we do have to show some love to this Heat hoodie because guess what, folks? You can get it for 56% off. Usually $120, now $53 when you go to chatsports.com/heat sale. Links in the description and comments of today's video. I think this is just ridiculous. There's a media storyline, if you will, a quote running on social media rampantly that the Heat are still targeting Kevin Durant. Well, here is the exact quote that was pulled from a Miami Herald article that I read, by the way, and I had no second thought about what this meant other than what I will tell you right now. But here's the quote. Durant will forever be a Heat possibility if he makes it to free agency. The Heat always have held him in high regard. Where in the world are people taking that quote and now thinking that the Heat are targeting KD in free agency this upcoming year? That's speculation. It's like, yeah, KD, if he's still available in the summer, yeah, the Heat will be interested. That is in no way saying they're targeting. That is in no way saying they're hoping. The plan is to create cap space for KD in the summer. I just don't understand how people are coming to this conclusion. I think it's a farce. I think it's far-fetched. I think it's ridiculous. It really is. And more coming here, but hit that sub button. Join the channel for the best Miami Heat coverage on YouTube. 24,488 people already subscribed. Join the family as we're on the road to 25K. Now, I will say this. It is interesting that KD, since being traded to the Houston Rockets in mid to late June, right before that NBA draft, he has yet to sign an extension with the Houston Rockets. I am unsure why that is the case. It feels as if you were trading for KD, you were probably going to extend him. It was very clear that if Miami got the deal done for Durant, they would have extended him pretty much instantly. Maybe Houston is waiting to see how he plays this year with his young core before giving him that extension. So maybe there is a chance he's in the free agent class of the 2026 summer. And KD was still elite, man, in 2024-25, averaging 26 on unbelievable efficiency. This is why I talked so often about Durant in May and June, about being a player that I wanted the Heat to target in a trade and ultimately acquire. Obviously, it did not happen. I was willing to part ways with Kel'el Ware to get it done. Now, I wanted to make that very clear. I was not trading Ware and a first-round pick. I said I would trade Ware, Rozier, and Duncan Robinson, and that was my package. Those three, that's it for KD. Take it or leave it. I wasn't given Ware, Wiggins, and a pick, or I wasn't given Ware and Jovic. I was just doing Ware, and I would have been fine trading Nikola Jovic as well because KD is still elite. So I'll say this and give you a tease on where I'm going here in a second, but yeah, I would be interested. But be the GM for me. Would you sign Kevin Durant? Type S for sign, type P for pass. If he was available in free agency, let me know your thoughts. I kind of just went through it. I was willing to trade a Jovic. I was willing to trade a Ware. Not both, but just one. And I wasn't trading draft capital alongside it. I was just trading a young guy and salary/veterans to get KD. He is still elite. I know he's very old. I know he is due for a contract extension. But if I was willing to trade for him this summer and give him an extension, then obviously I would not change anything in my line of thinking, and I would give him a 2-year contract in free agency this upcoming summer if the Heat were able to, with him being available and them having enough space. Now, when it comes to having enough space, you would have to trade Andrew Wiggins at the deadline. You just simply would. Or he would have to opt out of his player option, which I doubt he does because I don't think another team is going to give him $30 million over multiple seasons. He has a $30.1 million player option next year. Because you could, if you traded Wiggins at the deadline or now for expiring salary, say a deal with the Lakers where you get a Hachimura and Vincent in return, or Vincent and Klebo, doesn't matter, any type of combination of expiring contracts, well, you would have about $84.5 million coming off your books this year, which would give you a max contract slot to give to a player like KD on a 2-year extension. So if you are eyeing a KD signing this summer, Wiggins would have to be traded before the deadline in early February, which I really don't think actually ends up happening unless things go really south. But we'll be here for it all here, so make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Join the Heat Report family today as we're continuing to bring daily content around this basketball team.